Hi, I'm Don, and this is The Hobbyist Geek. Today's the day, y'all! Over the past 2 episodes, we have completed the legs, the arms, and an inordinate amount of accessories for this wonderful Starscream piece. And today, we're going to finish him off, and in the process, finish off the G1 line from the Moo model series. I can't wait. I'm very excited. So how about enough talking from me, and let's just get into it. And here he is, Moo Model G1 Starscream, fully assembled and looking absolutely incredible. This guy is awesome. I mean, he really is. Now, I've got about as many accessories as I can put on him at once. There are, of course, a couple of extras, which we will get into, but most everything is on here. And we'll get into the personalization options here in just a minute. But just look at this guy. I think the white might actually be a little bit bright. I think it should have been a little more gray. But all in all, I mean, this guy is incredible. Definitely my favorite piece of the entire Moo Model G1 collection. I'm actually quite sad that that collection is over now. I'm looking forward to the IDW stuff. But this guy is a great way to finish this off. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remove all of the accessories. Then we're going to bring them in. I'll show you the details on the torso and head that we built in this stage. And then we'll go over the accessories and the personalization options, and then do a couple of comparisons. Okay, I've switched camera angles for this segment because it's a lot easier for me to do it this way. But bringing him in, for this section we did the torso here and the head. And if we come in close, you can see that the cockpit is this beautiful gold with these silver separators here. The cockpit itself has this wonderful mesh on top and just comes in nice and neat right here on the crotch. Absolutely beautiful. We've got these little pieces here on his chest with the cylinders inside that look wonderful. Little venting here, right here on the ribs. You know, we've got a little piston work, some beautiful 3D elements. This piece I'm a little iffy about. The gold was a separate piece. It could have just been painted on like so many of the other details. But for some reason they wanted to make that gear a separate piece. Not particularly sure why. Coming on up, you can see the head has no face. There's a magnet there so that we can place whichever face we want. I will say this, once a face is in there, it is difficult to get off unless you use your tweezers. So, you know, I wouldn't plan on swapping that out on a regular basis. It is what it is. Here we've got our air intakes. And, you know, a little venting at the bottom. Not a whole lot in the way of design. Pretty nice all around. On the back, nice and clean. Looking back, I mean, the air intakes come all the way down. You can see some venting down here. And right here are the slots where the wings can go in if you choose to display them. The Moo Model logo is on the back of the head, but other than that, I mean, nothing extraordinary. Other than the fact that it looks extraordinary. All right, let's get into the accessories here. Okay, so here are all of the accessories that you get with this piece. An absolutely astounding amount of accessories. You've got the tail fins for the legs, you've got the wings, Megatron in gun form, you've got the coronation equipment, a couple of faces, a couple of right hands. So, starting at the bottom of the piece, we've got the tail fins here, and there's a little magnet right there, as well as 4 of these little hooks. I would highly recommend using these if you plan on using the wings as well. The reason is those wings do make this a little bit back heavy, so he likes to tilt And these tail fins are an extra set of protection against a fall. As you can see, they are not terribly difficult to get in, but it is a careful process. Once in though, they look really nice on those legs. And, you know, like I said, I do recommend them. You don't have to use them if you don't want to. Moving up, on the left hand here, there are little hooks on Megatron's gun. This is the bottom half, there's the top half. There's only a magnet for the top half for some reason. Not particularly sure why. But you can just slide it in, push it forward a little bit to lock it in. Same with the top half of the gun. And there you have him wielding Megatron in his gun form. Now chances are I'm not going to be displaying him like this because I have Megatron in my display. So I don't think it really makes sense to have Megatron in robot and in gun form. And even though I'm an 80s fan and a G1 fan, never have understood the mass differential between Megatron and his alt mode. Coming over to the right side, you've got a fist or a pointy finger. And I gotta admit, I was going to do the fist. I'm not a big fan of the pointy finger look, but in this case, I think it works. I really do think it works with the pointed finger, but you can choose to do whichever one you want. Just to give you an idea, here is what he looks like with a closed fist. So he looks good either way, he really does. But I think the pointed finger makes a little more sense in this context. And it kind of looks like he's ordering his people around. Now for the faces. You get two. You get a smiley face. I don't know if I can get this to show up. Well, more like a smirk face. But so you get a smirky face and you get a frowny face. Now I kind of like the frowny face because I don't like Megatron being happy. Or excuse me, Starscream being happy. And it's really just a matter of sliding it in there until it is flush. It is much harder to do once the piece is assembled, but it can be done. As you can see, the face does appear to be a little low. I'm not particularly sure why. I'm pretty sure I got that thing built correctly. It just looks like it's a little low there. But it holds nice and neat. Like I said, getting it out is going to require some tweezers, but it can be swapped in and out as you so choose. Here are the Coronation arm, shoulder armor, and they are slightly different. As you can see, this one has a little bit of extra armor right there, whereas this one does not. The one with the armor is for his left arm, without is for the right arm. And that is as simple as sliding it on. There are magnets in the shoulder that will hold it in place. And there you go. Next up is the crown. Now the crown does have a magnet inside, but that magnet is so high up it doesn't really hold well. And getting this situated is okay, it does stay. Barely, but it does stay. I personally don't think it goes down far enough, but that is actually the little thing on the inside. There's a little like pillar on the inside to keep it from going down too far. That said, you do have Starscream with a crown, just like that. And last up is the wings. Now, this guy stands great until you put the wings on. And the wings, they just slide in to the slots, boom, just like that, and you're good. But it does make him a little back heavy. Now, he will still stand, but you've got to be more careful in the balance to get him to stand just right. But with everything assembled, that is the G1 Starscream, and he looks awesome. So let's do some comparisons here. All right, and for our first set of comparisons, here he is next to Masterpiece Starscream and Studio Series Coronation Starscream. As you can see, he is right about the size of the Masterpiece figure. And I'm honestly not sure on the color. I kind of like the gray, and I think the red is a little dark. I think the white is a little too bright and the red is a little too dark. I think the blue is fine, but that's just my personal opinion. But he does look good next to these guys. And since we are saying goodbye to the Moo Model G1 line, I thought I would bring out the entire cast and show you one last comparison of the full Moo Model G1 line. Now, I will admit, there is actually one additional piece in the line that I don't have here, but it's Nemesis Prime, and he is identical to this Optimus over here, just with a different paint scheme. And I didn't really feel the need to make a whole nother video, or even add him to my collection, as I've never been much of a Nemesis Prime fan, and that was a very difficult build. And like I said, it's just not worthy of making another video since it's identical to that one. But that said, this is the rest of the line. We've got Megatron, Soundwave, Starscream, Optimus, Shockwave, Jazz, Bumblebee, Wheeljack, Frenzy, Ravage, Laserbeak, and Rumble, all here and looking absolutely spectacular. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this series. If you have, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And, you know, maybe write Moo Model and let them know that we'd like to see a few more come out of this line. Maybe the Dinobots, maybe the Constructicons, maybe just some individual pieces like Ironhide or Ratchet. But whatever the case may be, it's been a pleasure doing these. I'm sorry to see him go. I hope you all have enjoyed the series, and I will see you next time when we start the IDW line. Have a great day.